Greetings and salutations. I am Garen Rosmer and welcome to my stream. Today I will be streaming some Final Fantasy XIV as I continue my playthrough somewhere near to the end of Heavensward and going into Storm's Blood. Something like that. I can't remember. Names, they elude me. I don't know what it is about the Final Fantasy XIV expansion names, if they just won't sink into my head apart from Heavensward. I mean, I can check in-game as to what they're called. I think. Stormblood. Then into Shadowbringers. And then Beyond. Don't think I'm going to be catching up to Endwalker. I think it's called Endwalker. It's the latest one that's coming out. I will usually be joined by Crit Commissions, a Lord of Irony. However, they have not arrived yet, and hopefully they'll be joining us shortly. Rather than just delaying the stream and having me talk about a lot of things, although I do have a little bit to talk about up top here. I can't see myself, and it's disheartening. There we go. It's not so much disheartening, it's more I like to look at the camera while I'm talking, and it helps if it's not got something in the way. Still going to be playing Final Fantasy XIV on the Tuesdays until Endwalker releases, and I'm probably going to go back to my usual streams as the Lord of Irony will be getting into the Endwalker content and pretty much staying there until they're done. Oh, we have a Lord of Irony in the house. Hello. Greetings. And then on the Thursdays, at the moment, it's XCOM 2. Rumors have it that I'm near the end of that. And once that's done, there might be a little bit of a thing that I need to sort out for streaming stuff. It might be Hitman 3 on a Thursday, just putting that out there now, but that'll only be for like 1 week while I try and balance everything out. But then we'll be going back to CRPGs with Pillars of Eternity. Fridays, we finished Resident Evil 4. Woohoo, go me! And I say we because on Fridays I'm joined by MyCat_UK and JStation64 in the Peanut Gallery. Finish Resident Evil 4, going to go on to Prey this Friday. I know that there's an elusive target for Hitman, but you know, this Friday is the closest one to Halloween, so I figured I'd play a scarier game. Which then means that Hitman 3's elusive target will be 2 weeks in a row, which I don't want to do, which is why it might get a little bit weird when it comes to XCOM 2 if I finish that and can squeeze in the Hitman to get that back on track. You can find me, JStation64, Crit Commissions, Retro Ted and Krifu Banal all on Mondays continuing to play in a Starfinder Adventure Path Fly Free or Die on a stream that we call All the Glitters Explodes. We're back to doing that after a short break. And I think that just about covers everywhere that you can generally see me and actually see me. I'm not talking about the streams where I constantly pop up in. Because then we'd just be here all evening. How are you doing, Crit Commissions?
I woke up from a nap.
You feeling better for the nap?
No.
Oh. Why did you wake up then?
Because I have to stream. Oh.
No, yeah. You're joining me in my stream.
Yes. So I'm here and present.
Yay! Hello. Alright. Can you remember where we... Oh, no, I need to change this to watch the game. There we go. And then click over to the game. Right. We need to speak to Alethea.
You do.
Are you in position?
I am.
Alright. Begin speaking to LSA.
I have more to tell you, but the situation in the East Shroud remains largely unchanged. Meaning we still have no idea how long it will be before a communication from the Alliance. One moment. Yes, of course, our representatives will be present. My thanks. Word from Gridania. The council will shortly be reconvened. The Alliance leaders have already begun to assemble.
They wish to discuss the primal, of course. As of Ishtola's last report, the cocoon yet hung above the wall, unchanged.
Yes, but the Elder Seed say doubtless shares our concerns about how long it will remain so. I am told that Sid Garland has been called to add in his expertise to the proceedings.
A wise decision. The more minds we have working on this, the better.
Well then, I suggest we leave for the Rising Stones in Tataru's. We leave the Rising Stones in Tataru's capable hands, and make haste for the Lotus Stand.
Wow, Tataru didn't say anything, just nodded. Still remembering last session when all the women were talking to each other. It just made me laugh how much you had to talk to yourself.
Don't remind me. Made me look partially insane to everyone in my house as I was just talking to myself.
I mean, if it's...
If you would, good sir. This place, it is within the realm of Eorzea.
You're an odd-looking fellow, aren't you? Still, takes all sorts, I suppose. This here's Vesper Bay, Thanalan's door to the ocean, as some folk like to call it.
Am I to understand from your answer that I have indeed arrived in Eorzea?
Eh? Yes, you're in Eorzea.
Ah, a plain response at last, and the one I wanted at that. My journey was not without its hardships, and I would sooner travel by land than put to sea again.
Maybe you shouldn't have travelled in a dinghy.
You do not believe that so small a bark could bear?
That would have been the smarter option.
Such timid little sailors. I had but to set my course and set my jaw till I made port. Though, would perhaps have been wise to lay down my oars a moment to sup on more than the spray of brine water. By the trembling of my limbs, I sense a brief repast may be in order. Nay, I will not hearken to the feeble grumblings of an empty belly. Duty comes before all.
Yep.
Are you alright?
I was going to say he's just going to pass out.
Thou art far indeed from home, friend.
Ah, Ranjay. Arrive on the scene to deliver his insight. Ah. Linkara.
Aha! That cutscene also allowed me to finish my tea.
Nice. New Gradania?
New Gridania.
Gradania rules the waves. Although it's actually Limbs and Liminza who rules the waves, but it just seems to roll off the tongue with New Gradania. Bombity bomb, bomb, bomb.
Always raining in Gridania.
Yep. We can travel via the Ethernet, can't we, to the Conjurers Guild?
Alright.
Hey, I remember things. It's not often that I remember things, but I do remember them. Alright, now speak to the Silent Conjurer again, who asks...
Not so silent, Conjurer.
Welcome, Warrior Elect. This way, if you please. For more cutscenes!
Dear friends, pray accept my heartfelt thanks for your efforts in defense of Gridania's borders. I would fain dwell longer on my gratitude for the support of the Alliance, but the situation at Belsar's Wall demands that we forego such pleasantries.
According to our most recent intelligence, the cocoon of light that formed in the air above the wall remains undimmed and unbroken. After measuring the cocoon's etheric concentrations, Archon Y'shtola has confirmed the presence of a primal entity.
So we must assume that Ilbert's thrice damned god is indeed trapped within. And what news of the Imperials? They're not like to ignore such a spectacle.
Yes, sir. A Garlean airship was observed making an approach, but the vessel was destroyed when it drew near. The Empire appears to have made no subsequent attempts to reach the object.
The soldiers who witnessed the incident spoke of a lance of light issuing from within the cocoon, of an entire warship being reduced to smoking ruin in the space of a moment. Veterans of Cartano, meanwhile, likened the destruction to that wrought by the fiery wrath of Bahamut.
We could face another calamity.
So the primal is awake then? Contained, yes, but for how long? We must destroy it now, lest it break free.
Agreed. There is, however, the small matter of how to get close enough to a being that swats warships from the sky as you would a bothersome gnat.
Long distance cannons, anybody?
Is this truly so complex a puzzle? Or have you no stomach for the obvious solution?
Hello, you.
What the hells are you doing here?
Is that
Good to
Nero?
see you too, Garland. Now, if you'd
Mhm.
to explain to these good people why you should be begging me for my assistance, that would be most appreciated.
The dynamic duo and the world's #1 couple have reunited at last.
Who is this man?
Oh, how terrifically rude of me. Nero Tolskeva, former tribunus of the 14th Legion of the Garlean Empire. These days, however, one might say that I'm something of a free agent.
What do you want, Nero?
I was getting to that. Although you already know what I'm about to propose, old friend. As you have rather belatedly realized, within that frail binding lurks an entity alike in strength to the great Bahamut. and the only force in existence which might conceivably contend with such a foe is the very creation which captured the Elder Primal in the first place. I speak, of course, of Omega.
Omega? That hulk has been gathering dust beneath the plains of Cartanau since the Allagans breathed their last. And none alive knows how to wake it.
I'm sorry? Do you understand who it is with whom you have the privilege of speaking? I'm Nero Tolskeva, Master Engineer, the mechanical genius who restored the Ultima weapon to full operational capacity. And as luck would have it, I'm graciously offering you the use of my considerable expertise.
And what, you just expect us to accept? Why would we trust the word of a man who furnished the Black Wolf with the means to subjugate Eorzea?
Trust? You wound me, Garland. All those years studying side by side at the Academy, sharing both trial and triumph, we were countrymen once, you and I. But sentiment aside, have you a better solution? Or do you mean to send in your vaunted hero there, as you always do, and pray the world is not engulfed in flame?
Rude.
Let us approach the problem in a rational manner. Does not the fact that Omega slumbers in stasis point to the existence of some overriding technology? A means of control?
I would ask a question, if I may. Nero, was it not? In the event that we succeeded in using Omega to shackle the Primal in the manner you propose, what then would become of it? Do we not risk repeating the mistakes of the Allagans?
You get to use it as an infernal war machine, Canny Senna, and spread your forest across the world.
Of course, if you would rather leave it buried beneath Cartanau while you continue your petty squabbles above, then I suppose that is also your choice.
Spare us, Nero. The Seedseer's concern is a valid one. He who controls Omega wields the power of the gods, the very power which led the Allagans to destroy themselves.
I'll do it.
And does it not fall to we engineers to prevent such misuse? What was your company's proud slogan? Freedom through technology?
A creed you follow, is it? What say you? Do we take this villain at his word?
Why are we consulting me? I'm just a potato.
Potatoes are evil. Of course we welcome Nero into the fold.
He makes a convincing case.
He makes me grind my teeth is what he does. But I suppose we don't have much of a choice.
Oh hush, Sid, you love him.
I wouldn't recommend the grinding of teeth though. Go on, punch him. Punch him. Get all that anger out.
Punch him out with your face.
Would the council be willing to entrust this matter to a pair of former Imperials?
Yes. The task of restoring the Allagan relic will be yours. But the responsibility for its reawakening must remain with the Council. Do we condone this course of action?
Aye. It would seem we do. Let the record show that we invest this contingent with the authority to enter Cartanau and take command of Omega. Sid, I appoint you...
Some PvP.
Scions, I would ask that you assign some few of your number to escort Master Garland and supervise the other one.
We should be happy to oblige. The politics of Cartanau being what they are, I dare say our neutrality will prove useful in avoiding any unnecessary entanglements.
If I am not mistaken, Doma occupies a similarly neutral position. Might we not persuade you to join the expedition, Lady Yugiri? If you suspected any foul play from Nero, you would be welcome to kill him.
So laugh if she just instantly killed him.
Okay, stop.
Not a moment's hesitation, eh? You'll forgive me if I do not shake your hand.
What was he doing there?
He was either scratching his arse or... I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's what it looked like. What is he doing? Dun 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 dun.
Welcome in, Saber, by the way. Around Reborn Nero's email tweeting about said he had about 5-minute bloody rant about it in an unskippable cutscene. He got better in 3.5 onward though. No idea.
Well, yeah, he was just a two-dimensional villain in A Realm Reborn back when you fight him in his giant hammer. He's actually got a character now. He's more than just Sid's forlorn
Wayward prodigy?
ex. No, they were rivals growing up in the academy, but he was very, very, very obsessed with Sid in A Realm Reborn.
I mean, if they're rivals and a relatively equal age, he aged a lot better than Sid did.
Well, it's that beard. You can see he's trying for it with the morning shadow, though.
The morning shadow?
Well, the 5 o'clock shadow.
Oh, okay. Well, that was rather an unexpected development, and on one which raises a number of questions, not least among them how Nero chanced to learn of the council's meeting in the first place. Sid and the others are assembling at the airship landing. Alisei is already on her way, and it would not do to lag too far behind. Let us be off. Saber's saying stuff and I don't understand again.
Well, they not just in Prey, but he had the same problem in 2.1 and 2.5. I'm pretty sure wasn't that just the Crystal Tower stuff?
Don't think I got too involved in the Crystal Tower stuff. Do we need a gem?
No, we're going to the... Oh, yeah, we do need a gem. You go into the main ether, right?
Or the airship landing?
Oh, yeah, we can go directly there, can't we?
Bum. We have arrived! Ah, yes, Sid. Wait, I've arrived. Oh, there you are. Hello, Sid. Rue, half an hour. Ready to go. The others have stepped out onto the landing for a moment, lest you wonder. Nero insisted that he be allowed to inspect the Excelsior before boarding. And you let him? Despite his very timely offer of assistance, the thought of a man poking around about the workings of a ship without proper supervision does not fill me with confidence. Calm yourself, Alphino. Your sister was adamant that he would never leave her sight. She and Yogiri are... well, you know how they are now. Right, I think that's everyone. Shall I set course for Carter now? Might I ask that we delay our departure slightly? I require no more than a few hours at most. Our colleagues are studying the cocoon even as we speak, and I would hear of their latest observations ere we proceed. It would seem wise to gain clear understanding of the situation as possible, a clear an understanding of the situation as possible before formulating our plan. Oh, I thought time was against us. How foolish of me. It's Alice.
Hold your tongue. When we want your opinion, we'll ask for it.
Forgive me, my lady. I shall keep my counsel until such times as we have finished procrastinating. Right. Well, Alfredo speaks to his colleagues. I shall fly the Excelsior over Modana, and we can reconvene at the Rising Stones. Mine apologies for the trouble. I shall visit Ishtola and the others forthwith, and join you as soon as I am able. Rue, pray accompany Alice back to Rising Stones. I should feel safer knowing you are in the present to entertain our guest. Right, everyone heading to Modana is welcome to travel aboard the Excelsior. I'll clear things with the girl at the counter here. Let her know when you're ready to leave.
Your girl at the counter. We're gonna ride without a air pass. What you gonna do about it?
I mean, quite
Nothing.
literally, we could just summon our flying mounts and just ride off into the distance. Are you traveling? Oh, sorry. Yep.
You were traveling with Master Garland. The Enterprise Excelsior is right this way.
And we have arrived. Not quite the door-to-door service, but I couldn't exactly land her in Toll's main square. Shall we adjourn to the Rising Stones then?
And just to prove a point, I'm gonna go ride my flying mount into the middle of Reverend Toll Square.
I mean, we're slightly smaller than the Excelsior.
Oh yeah, no, that's good. That's a fair point. What's the biggest, most obnoxious mount that I own?
The whale.
Is it the whale or is it the carriage?
I mean, I think it's a whale.
I can do whale.
I can also ride pillion on the whale. Ha ha! Ride pillion. On Zeb. Never have you actually explained why we're flying on a whale. Or why the whale is indeed flying.
I mean, I could go into the spiel that the mount has. Pods of these massive wavekin are believed to traverse the indigo deep for thousands of miles in pursuit of food. Why would they choose to limit themselves to the confines of the sea despite possessing the capacity for ether-assisted flight is a mystery scholars have pondered for centuries.
Hey, my cat. Apparently the Lunar Whale is the largest mount.
Yeah. It's an 8-man mount as well.
Ooh.
I just didn't like the look of it. It was just too, like, you can't see anybody riding it regardless of whether they're riding on land or in the air.
Hmm. Because magic, so fuck you. We need to go speak to Nero.
You'll notice Philomen's not behind the counter anymore. Oh, she's sat over there. It's the first time I've seen her.
So these are the fabled headquarters of the Scions. I confess
confess I would have expected an order of self-proclaimed warrior scholars to surround themselves with the fruits of man's enlightenment. And yet there's not so much as a single piece of magitech in sight. It never ceases to amaze me how primitive you Eorzeans truly are.
Oh, I'll have you know that the Rising Stones is home to the very latest in magitech innovation. Wedge calls it the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boil Master, and it's the finest kettle I've ever had the pleasure to own.
We are returned. Well, Ida and I, at least. Ishtola and the others remain behind to continue their assessment of the binding magic.
There didn't seem much point staying just for that, so I decided to come back without them. Happily my bought us this time. We shouldn't waste it.
By your leave!
Good God, that voice could fell a gigas.
This is the Rising Stones, domicile of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I enter at the invitation of one Lord Urianger.
We really need to fix a lock on this place.
No, we just need to take the key off Oriange.
Shadow Walker, you always were a hard one to find.
Yugiri, do you know this man?
Gosetsu, why are you come to Eorzea?
In search of you, Yugiri. For days and nights did I row across the angry sea. I made port in good spirits, only for my own flesh to betray me over the trifling matter of an empty belly. Collapsed in the street like an unfed stray I was, until Lord Urianger came to my aid. Over a most welcome meal, we spoke of the plight of Doma, and I learned of our displaced countrymen's work to resettle this blighted land. 'Twas blind fortune that I was able to locate you so swiftly, but now we must make ready to depart. Our master languishes in dire peril, and Doma calls her daughter home.
It is not so simple, Gosetsu. There are obligations which bind me here.
You refuse? Did you mislay your oath during your flight from our homeland? The laws of hospitality must be honored, but surely the vow to defend your master demands the greater obeisance.
It was our master who bid me guide our people to safe haven by any means necessary. And it was the scions you see before you who provided us succor and sanctuary when all others refused. Dire peril or no, were I to return without first repaying such hospitality, our master would cut me down at the threshold.
Mayhap that is so.
There is more. A crisis threatens all within this realm, Eorzean and Doman alike, and I go to play my part in its resolution. I will not bring shame upon our liege by abandoning my people or my duty.
How very noble of you. Now, in the name of honor, kinship, and, practicality, might I suggest we get this expedition underway? Or would you rather debate the finer points of duty and leave Omega to the Empire?
The Empire? Yugiri, you draw steel against the curse of Garlemald? Then why did you not say so? My blade is oath-bound to fall upon the ranks of the Imperials wheresoever they march. Lead on, Shadow Walker, and may the enemy tremble.
Like Nero hide.
Also Sid. Technically.
Technically, he's got his goggles to hide his little galleon dot, though. His eye. Wait, could I speak with you a moment? Do you remember when I had you meet at the Diamond Forge and we, ambushed you? Thank you for calling it what it was. Well, once we had your measurements, I set to work making you a travelling outfit in my spare time. I've only just this moment finished the stitching, but I wanted you to have it before you left. Here. Have an end-of-patch outfit. You can try it on right now if you like. Oh, you look like a snazzy potato. Assuming we measured correctly, the fit should be just right. Snug, but not too snug, if you know what I mean. So, how does it feel? You're not just saying that, are you? Oh, I can't tell you how much this means to me to have crafted something worthy of the Warrior of Light well, let's just say it makes all the practice worthwhile. I also sewed in a blood pearl charm to, you know, bring you home. I'd always protect you. Whose blood is it? Whose blood is it?
I finally have a monocle again. Are these actually equipable, or do I need to do the whole glamour thing?
It's equipable. You will want to glamour it though because it's level 1 outfit.
Yeah, okay.
So it will not provide you any kind of protection.
How do I do the whole glamour thing again?
You need to go to an inn room, so you need to go to one of the 3 major cities.
Okay. Wait. Oh, there it is. I think. Right.
Yeah, the Scion Adventurer's monocle.
Yep. Right, so I'm just going to leave that there while I go get glamoured up, because...
You can... Again, no, you can't do it in Revenant's Toll. You do have to go to one of the main 3 cities. You don't have to go to an inn room, but an inn room you can set it to a plate, and then you can just apply it over any such armour. Just make sure you've got some glamour prisms in your inventory.
I don't know if I've got glamour prisms. I'm
I
going
gave
to...
you a buttload a while back. So
I know you did. I probably should have some. I just can't remember. I have... Oh yeah, I got 46 glamour prisms. Right, I'm in Limsa, which might have been a mistake because it's noisy.
No, that's fine. You go to Limsa, you go... let me guide you. I need to teleport to Limsa. There's a room to the left or to the right. There's a room with a pillar.
Oh yeah, to the left.
You're going in there and you're talking to the lift attendant up to the drowning wench.
Rightio. I see a lift attendant. The drowning wench. Apparently my inventory being at 125 of 140 is making a saber cry. Not entirely sure why.
Right next to the door is the innkeeper.
Ah, hello. How did you beat me here?
I didn't. You just ran into the middle of the room while I just stood next to the guy.
Retire to in room?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then I go over to the armoire or the glamour dresser?
The glamour dresser. Click on that.
Yep.
Click on edit glamour plates.
Edit glamour plates.
Click on a free glamour plate. And you can... Oh, you need to open the armoire, sorry, after that. So there's a button that just says open armoire. There you go. And... I'm being stupid, I think.
Do I need to do bits first?
You know, I do this all the time on my main, and I've completely lost the plot. Adding stuff to a glamour dresser. Oh yeah, no, I went too far. Come out of that. You don't want to go into edit glamour plates. You just want to pick on. If you click on the glamour dresser.
Right.
And then in the side, you can pick the Scion outfit out and add it to your dresser. The pants are in your inventory.
So the Insane Adventurer's bottoms. I
Yes.
click on that and then click on yes.
Yeah.
Right, and then I go to. Do I have anything for the main hand?
No, you've got stuff in head, body, hands.
Head, body, hands, which would be the Silent Adventurer's monocle.
Yep, you've got the monocle, the top, and
Silent Adventurer's jacket. And I didn't see another one.
Legs and feet, you've got them.
Oh, I need feet. So, Silent Adventurer's boots. There, they're all in there now. And then I open up the glamour plates.
Yeah, now you edit glamour plates.
And then I can assign the monocle, the jacket, the pants, and the feet. And save that.
Yeah.
And then apply it.
Yeah, and you can dye them as well if you have dye.
But why would I want to dye black and white? It's a classic look. There we go. I almost look professional.
Almost.
Oh, is that yours?
Mm-hmm.
Can't tell if that's a skirt or a shorts.
Press V.
V?
V. And hold it down. There you go. Front views. Scroll lock will hide your UI.
And then F12. Wait, no. Why do I keep looking at the person over there?
But yeah, to take screenshots, there's also something called G pose.
I mean, oh yeah. I'm not gonna mess around with this too much. How do I take a picture in this?
F12 or print screen. But you want to scroll lock and hide all the menus first.
There we go. Brady looking very serious now. How do I come out of this interface?
Well, you show your menu again, and then there you go.
If you just press escape, it does a thing.
I'm gonna get back in my luminescent outfit. Boom.
How did you quickly change like that?
I've got this outfit saved to glamour plate number 2. So when you're in towns, you can just swap glamours.
Ah, okay. No idea what I did for the Wild Rose one.
Yeah, the Wild Rose was a gift.
Fair enough.
From the game. But you see now, because you don't have anything in your glove slot, the Wild Rose gloves have stuck around.
Alright. How am I supposed to clear that?
you would need dispel glamour prisms. Or you can buy invisible gloves, which you'd equip into your glamour plate.
Or I go over to the Leonhardt gloves, which seem to fit. I think.
No, back to Moderna. Yeah, no, they do. I put the Lionheart gloves on mine.
Can't go with wrong with the classic leather. Why does it never boop us into the same place? There you are. Right, back into the Rising Sands. No. Rising Stones?
Mm-hmm.
Is Rising Sands the other place?
No, that's the Waking Sands.
The Waking Sands, okay.
Right, return to the Waking Sands.
I have trauma over that and have chosen to forget it. Hey Yida, how goes it?
Oh god, it's this guy. So we have to wake Omega up, right? Where do we start?
Yida, are you sure that's...
I'm sure, yes. I won't lie and say I'm completely fine, but I'll feel a lot better once I'm doing something useful. Very well. I will remain here and continue coordinating our efforts with the Alliance. Alphano, mayhap you could return to Gridania and assist Ishtola and Kryl.
A fine suggestion. The rest of us will form the Cartanu Expedition Party. Nero and I will focus on rousing Omega, while Rue, Yida, and our Domo friends take care of security.
The Rogue Garden chair is just... it's something else.
It's a mood. The Excelsior is just by the lake, just outside of town. We'll leave as soon as everyone is ready. Quest accepted. Yeah, I'll probably sort that out at some point, Saber, or I probably won't. I still have the 2 buttons for mounts and flying mounts. Because I'm not very good at organising anything. That's it, we need to fly back to the edge of the lake, don't we?
We do. Whee!
I will follow your lead because I can't remember where we're going.
It's not that way. Don't trust me.
I shall take the lead and fly out of town in this direction. It seems to be southward. Hey, there we go.
Oh yeah, look for the Crystal Tower. That's what I should be doing. Will we finally get to Cartano? Or will we find some other reason to stay behind? I'm gonna leave the party.
We haven't far to go. With any luck, we'll be in Cartano before Gertzu graces the deck with his dinner. Once there, however, we best be on our guard. Even given the Eline Rolia it was still active when Omega was discovered, we can be sure that the Empire has long been aware of its existence, and if Nero deemed it obvious a solution to the threat posed by the new primal, it is not impossible that Garlemald might do the same. Have your weapons ready and your wits about you. Something tells me we're flying into a fight. Yeah.
We're flying into the PvP zone, of course it's a fight.
Oh, is this the PvP zone?
There's the Wolves Den, but there's the Battle for Cartano as well, which is I think it's an offshoot of the PvP, but no, we're not going into PvP.
Okay.
that.
Should we be allowing him to touch things?
I've enabled the teleporter. One brief jump and we shall arrive in Omega's control room.
How convenient. You've been here before.
Of course. It was no easy task threading a path through all the skirmishes. But how could I ignore the existence of such a fascinating toy? You may trust that my preliminary examination was suitably thorough.
Trust? Aye. I trust your appetite for technology.
I chased down a suspect airship, and who should I find but the traitor, Sid Garland.
Here he comes.
Searching for something, engineer? Something big? It's close, isn't it? It's like all my name days have come at once.
Why are you wearing makeup that makes you look like a strawberry?
Take care of that brute, will you?
Run, Nero, run!
Can't let Nero tinker around in there by himself. I'm sorry to leave you to it, but I dare say you'll manage without me. This clod has no idea who he's dealing with.
Time for some row on row action.
Samurai of Doma, you will rue your choice of opponent this day.
I take it the samurai class was introduced at some point.
Stormblood, yeah.
Let me guess, this was basically introducing the class before you could actually play it.
Pretty much.
No holding back.
Leave this to me.
I wish you guys were slightly more aggressive. He's still trying to beat up the cleric.
An opening.
Fear my hammer.
Oh, it's time for the act of war.
Your defense is nothing.
PCs are got a lot more talkative towards the end of Heavensward.
Can't really keep up with what they're saying half the time because there's so much going on.
Look upon a samurai of Doma.
Oh. Mid-battle cutscene. Surrender. We have you outnumbered. Wouldn't be the first time. Are you still playing with those soldiers? I suppose I could lend you one of my toys, but only if you promise to give it back. I have one of them in my inventory.
He doesn't know that.
Behold, the Red Baron. Now end this nonsense.
Evil potato grin.
What? He told me no one. He told me they'd have Magitek armor. Forward for the Empire.
While he runs off.
Honorless Kerr thinks to abandon his men. I shall see he shares their fate. Pray attend to the rest of his minions. Brief reminder, anybody on how the Smegham's supposed to use that thing?
It has rockets. Fire the rockets.
It also has a cannon. No, it just has cannons. Come on, friggin' trigger. Oops.
Do 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 do. Gratuitous explosions.
Tis my right to strike.
No holding back. Leave this to me.
Do wish all the NPCs would gather around. Oh, the ammo's been depleted. Deserting is punishable by death. Come back here, please.
Bye. Now that's just embarrassing.
No retreat. No surrender.
That's a big explosion.
Look upon a samurai of Doma.
You watching, Caballero? Your defense is lacking.
With soul and steel.
I hate being a healer when it comes to combat. You haven't seen the last of me, mark my words. You will something of a day.
You will rue the day, get it? Rulander. Oh.
We figured out how the doohickey worked.
Temporal stasis disengaged. All systems operational. Garland?
All clear on this side. It's waking up.
Omega's sensors immediately detected the presence of the cocoon, even at this distance. They must have been set to scan for sources of energy exceeding certain magnitudes.
I still don't see any means to control the machine directly. It seems to have been designed to act wholly autonomously. Once we release Omega, we can be fairly certain it will attempt to capture the Primal at Belsar's War. Assuming its mission is successful, our only option at that point will be to re-engage its stasis system and put it back to sleep.
And should the machine happen to misbehave, we'll simply initiate an emergency shutdown. I confess we don't yet have a complete grasp of its capabilities, but I'm certain the details will not elude us for long.
Well, I understood less than half of that. So,
Well,
my
what do you
question
think?
to you is, are we doing the right thing?
Yeah, well, what do you think?
What do I think?
Oh god, wish asked her to use a brain.
Be nice.
All right. Step aside, Sid. Is this the thing I need to press?
Yes, that's the one.
You gave too much for us to waste this chance, Papalimo. So this is for you. And me.
Yes! Fly free, my pretty! Show us what you can do. The launch sequence has begun. Omega is loose.
Why do I get the foreshadowing feeling that that was a terrible idea?
I don't know what gave you that impression.
Maybe the maniacal laughter. Maybe leaving the decision to push the button to somebody who might be slightly unhinged right now.
We were kind of out of time, but yeah, getting the emergency stop switch working might have been a fun idea. I do like this music though.
It's not very accurate, is it?
I mean, the dragon's not exactly accurate either. So.
No, they're both actually terrible. Was that a strike from the dragon?
Yep.
All the explosions. When has wake up an ancient apocalyptic superweapon ever been a good idea? It's a good idea when I'm in charge. And I'll just leave it at that. Well, instant overbite.
Grow teeth, especially for this move.
Ah, yes, the fabled red versus green versus blue. Bright light. Don't believe me all you want to, but you know it's true. Have I ever let the world go to waste because I had control of an ancient apocalyptic super weapon? No, I haven't. Point proven.
We go. Bye bye.
So I didn't kill them, they ran away.
No, they got knocked away.
Omega has stopped transmitting. But that shouldn't be. I didn't engage the stasis system.
And what does this signify? I have little understanding of these contrivances.
The launch went exactly to plan, but all signals emanating from Omega have ceased. This may indicate any number of things, but we will need to join the Scions out in the field if we are to ascertain which one.
Oh, we had Scions in the field. Oh, they're probably toast by now.
I mean, they were on the wall, so yeah, probably.
That should prevent any unfortunate mishaps. I suggest we make our way back to Gridania.
Don't deserve that tattoo.
Happilimo's spell is fading. It was bound to his ether, you see. And if the connection is broken...
Hey, Sid. I'm not sure why we lost contact with Omega, but I mean to find out. Let's be on our way. Travel to Gridania.
Dun, 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 dun.
One moment everything was functioning perfectly and the next it wasn't. It makes no sense. We need to find out what happened for ourselves, and soon.
Far edge of fate.
Words can ill express how glad I am to see you all unharmed. When Omega came hurtling towards a cocoon, everything dissolved into chaos.
I have to see it. I have to see it with my own eyes. Whee!
Vida, wait, we must first... The Elder Seeds here is expecting us.
Worry not, Alphino. Gosetsu and I will watch over her. You may safely attend your meeting.
My thanks, Yugiri. The council reconvened a short while ago. Let us make haste for the Lotus Stand. All will be eager to hear your testimony.
Why mine? Sid was there.
Yes, but we're the Warrior of Light. I mean, we could have everybody in the room executed, and I'm pretty sure, we could have the Elder Seedseer executed if we pushed hard enough on the rest of them.
Ooh, someone's holding a nightclub event. Someone's shouting about, there's going to be a nightclub event in one of the residential walls.
Fair enough. Silent Conjurer, say something again. Hiya! The Elder Seedseer awaits you within.
You're really making me break my vow of silence again and again and again, aren't you?
You could just walk past me, Ooh, we're actually in control of our characters here.
But graffiti the place. Remember when Melweb actually had a presence and would say things? My friends, fully eagerly have we awaited your return. Few indeed could have discharged the duty entrusted to you, and most humbly do we thank you for seeing it done.
You are too kind, Elder Seedseer. As I recall, we had as good as demanded the right to try. Tell me, how did the battle unfold? We succeeded in waking Omega, aye, but we lost contact with the weapon shortly after it launched. From our position in the control room, we were blind to all that followed.
What words could do justice to such a scene? None of my choosing. That much is certain, but I can give you the fact. The cocoon hatched even as Omega arrived, and from its midst rose a great dragon. The pair duly sat about each other in the skies over Girabania.
And the primals might defied belief. It seemed the very heavens would be rent asunder by the force of its blows, and it wielded such magics as I have never seen, and hope never to see again. The battle raged on with no end in sight, until both combatants were engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When the radiance faded, I saw a pair fall motionless from the sky, coming to rest somewhere on Alamegan soil. I will not speak for the rest, but to mine eyes, it seemed that each had landed a fatal blow upon the other.
While most among us could think only of Bahamut when looking upon the primal's form, the Domans were heard to whisper the name Shinryu. It would appear that the being resembles a great creature of far eastern legend, and we have found it convenient to refer to it as such. This Shinryu's fate, and indeed that of Omega, is yet unknown. We have, alas, no eyes on the Girabanian side of the border.
Aye, but which is why we have sent our main force under the command of Marshal Terrapin to capture the wall. With the Imperials in disarray, we have the perfect opportunity to secure the Gridanian border and assess the aftermath of the impact. I myself will join the Marshal and his men when the council is adjourned. Well, that explains a few things. I'd wager that flash of light coincided with our loss of contact. Lest you wonder, we quickly re-engaged Omega's stasis systems, so even if it has fallen into the Empire's lap, it will be of no use to them, save perhaps a statue. Correct. Without me to guide their efforts, it would take them decades to decipher Omega's core functions, if they managed it at all.
Such reassurances do much to calm our fears, yet the relic's fate is but one of several concerns.
Indeed, I humbly submit that the time has come for us to make contact with the Resistance representatives in Ger Albania. Although Ilberd has forced our hand, it would seem only logical to seek an alliance, given the inevitability of Imperial retaliation. And by working in concert, it's not impossible that Al Amigo might finally be wrestled from Garlemed's grasp.
Let me go. Gotta say it like you're north of the wall.
Why would I say it like that?
Because all the Alamegans speak like Roban.
Ah. I don't speak like Raban. You must be exhausted. I would normally suggest that we'd retire directly to Rising Stones, but I wonder if we might first make a small detour. Ishtola and the others have gathered at Aramisiak's spire, and I imagine that you too would be interested to see what has become of the wall now the cocoon has gone. It is decided then. Lead on.
To the Hawthorne Hut.
Oh, to the Hawthorne Hut.
Mm-hmm.
To the Hawthorne Hut. Away we go.
Boop. Giant whale.
Giant whale.
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilberd's primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence. It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as no surprise. Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilberd all but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by Omega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Alag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She is up on the platform, lost in thought.
We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhaps she would welcome some company after all. Shall we?
The light's gone. It was all we had left of him.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalimo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time.
Ida, there is no need to explain.
But there is. I can't hide in Papalimo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask. 20 years ago, on the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution. He had fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric. And my sister had fought alongside him. She was strong and kind, and always knew what to do. But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too, and I never saw him again. After that, I remember a lot of running. My sister dragged me for malms and malms until we came to the city of Charlian. That was where she met Master Louis Soir. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon.
She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started?
You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida.
Of course. We all recognized you at once. 'Twas Papalimo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
It was silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know. Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong. There must have been a lot of them.
Why did you never tell me?
I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise. When Papalimo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake. I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself. And it almost seemed easier to play the role. Papalimo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me. The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it. So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lise. And I choose to continue my family's fight.
I want Alamigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
War is upon us once more.
Do you regret standing against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker. We leave for the east, for Doma.
It was brave of Lysay to remove her mask after so long. Though she had scarce begun to come to terms with Papalimo's loss, that one act made plain her determination to move forward. And should she ever falter, we shall be there to support her on this road she has resolved to walk. Let us return to the Rising Stones. We have quite the story to tell Playthru and my sister.
Oh, end credits! End credits!
Is that the end of Heavensward complete now?
Yeah. You did it!
I did it! I finished the first expansion, only 2 more to go.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm caught up.
And then you caught up.
Although by the time I catch up, the 3rd one will be out.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Unless you literally just no life the game for the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, I don't really think I've got the stamina to no life this game for 3 weeks.
And honestly, I think no lifing the game for 3 weeks would only get you to the end of Stormblood.
I think it would depend on how much I no lifed it. If I literally stopped doing everything else, including work, I could probably get there.
Hey, remember that time Thancred got punched?
Oh yeah. Warrior of Darkness, Knight of Darkness, Devout of Darkness, Ranger of Darkness.
Do you remember the Warrior of Darkness?
I remember the Warrior of Darkness. I didn't literally think that they were actually called, you know, Ranger of Darkness, Magnus of Darkness. Who the hell is Nano? Oh, is that the Queen?
Sultana.
The Sultana, yeah. Not seen her in a while.
Well, she's been kind of running Uldar.
Yeah, but at the same token, she could have made an appearance when, the world went to war.
No, that's what Ramban's for.
Hmm.
We all know he's secretly the true leader of Uldar.
Well, they mentioned Haurchefant all on his own.
Aw, Haurchefant.
I don't really feel much for him.
No, honestly, same. Like, but his death was made a bigger deal than Moonbreeder's was.
The thing is, it was made a bigger deal, but I still feel more for Moonbreeder's death than Haurchefant's. Hell, much to your eternal chagrin, I feel more for Papalymo's death than Haurchefant's. I know you can't stand those two, but...
Like, I hate Papalymo less than I hate Lys. Well, that's just me.
Do you still hate Lys?
Yes.
For the same reasons?
For more reasons.
Okay.
But yes.
It just feels to me that you bear a grudge for their interference with the, I want to say...
the cells. I will forever begrudge them for that.
But it seems a little bit irrational in terms of how much you hate them for that one faux pas.
They were just very Timon and Pumbaa-esque in A Realm Reborn, and I just couldn't stand it. Like, having serious potatoes wasn't a thing until the end of A Realm Reborn. They were very much joke NPCs.
They were just leading you into a false sense of security.
That's to Saber's point about Haurchefant being your character's like very close friend of your character in game.
I didn't feel it.
Yeah. I find it an interesting tidbit that Haurchefant's death was the first one your character visibly reacts to and is saddened by. That's an interesting point.
The thing is, I kind of wonder a little bit as if by having the character react despite the wishes of the player, whether that's numbed me a little to it, because I didn't have a choice in it. I'm supposed to be sad about Haurchefant's death, and that to me I don't feel. And because it's kind of being projected onto me, I'm sort of like, no, I feel nothing for Haurchefant's death.
But there was a load of side quests you can do with him that you didn't do that build his character up a bit more.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the Japanese.
I take it I can't go back and do those side quests now.
No, he's dead. But yeah, the Japanese version of the game, his lines in there, Haurchefant's lines in that, he is very thirsty for you. Very, very thirsty for you. He wants nothing more than to go outside with you and watch you train with his men and glisten with sweat. And he'll prepare some hot cocoa in your chamber and warm your bed when you return. It's just like, Haurchefant, no!
Yeah.
Hilarious to watch, though. It's funny.
I feel that they've laid it on a little bit thicker for the Japanese.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's meant to come across as flirty as it does. I think he's just very passionate about hard-working individuals. Is how it was meant to be portrayed. But yeah, no, he just comes across as a very thirsty boy in the middle of Ishgard.
Mm.
But yeah, no, Papalimo's death was sad. Although I think if there was any way he was going to go, going the same way as his mentor was probably in his top 3.
Yeah. And I think to a certain degree that it's hit me harder because one of the things is it's very clear Yeda was feeling totally powerless in the event.
Yeah.
And it just makes you want to be able to do something. But you can't. And, you know, in Hoshifon's case, it's all like you're powerless, but it's also so sudden. It's not like you've got any kind of choice on the matter. It's just like he takes a bullet for you, basically. And that's it, it's over. You know, you've just got to press on, and there's a lot going on in that. Whereas this was more sort of like you had those. It's like a minute of a cutscene.
Yeah.
Where you're just left to watch. But no, to a certain degree, maybe I would have grown more attached to Hoshifont if I'd done a lot of more of the side questing.
I think as well if there wasn't sort of longer breaks between playing the game.
Potentially, yes.
Hey, it's Shinryu.
Shinryu?
Yeah, the big dragon thing.
Oh, right.
Omega Heart.
Sorry, I thought you were reading out one of the names on screen, and it's like, why is that relevant? But yes, big dragon.
Big dragon. And there's Omega.
Why do I have a feeling that at some point we're going to end up having to fight Omega?
I mean, it's still out there.
Hmm. I'm seeing the chat between Americ and Lucia, and yeah, no, Americ is totally hot for the Warrior of Light, but he's a lot more subtle about it, and just completely disregards Lucia. It's like their relationship is very much strictly professional, as far as Americ is concerned. But Lucia is like very much wanting it to be more. She has a total notice me senpai vibe to her.
Web community testers, 3 people, and the entire QA staff. But yeah, Emmerich tries for the good first half of Stormblood to get you to go for a drink with him, and every time your character's just like doing weird kind of awkward side eyes, like. And then he finally gets it and it's interrupted, but the amount of times he literally runs after you throughout the story, you're just like, oh, Emmerich, no, please. Please, buddy. I like some of the concept art now we're getting.
You say that, but he threw himself in front of her to protect her from Nidhogg's attack on the bridge. The thing is, though, from his point of view, I feel that was very much just sort of like doing the right thing on the
Yeah,
professional level. You know, it's all you.
I think Emmerich would have done that for anyone.
But no, he's very much sort of like the leader. If anybody's going to get killed first, it's going to be me. Don't feel that there was particularly affection there, just more professionalism is probably the best way that I can summarize it.
What the friends? I don't doubt that he views her as a friend. But he definitely does have a very professional relationship with her, so far as I read it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. I mean, you can be friends with her, but it's platonic, that's a word.
Yeah.
It's one of them things where it's like, I don't really want to interrupt the credits. But at the same token, there's a lot of credits.
There's a lot of credits. So yeah, from what you can remember of Heavensward, what was your overall opinions of it?
One of the things that you got to remember, if you're listening out there, basically for Heavensward, we have literally just done the critical path. I don't think we've stepped off that at all for Heavensward. So from that, I didn't mind the story. I quite liked it. But at the same token, out of Heavensward, I don't really feel that there's many new memorable people. I've not got as attached to a lot of the characters as I did at the end of A Realm Reborn. And the fact that they brought back most of them who died at the end of A Realm Reborn, I feel has cheapened their deaths. But at the same token, it's like it's one of them where it's like it's by the by, you know. Not sure how many of them are going to make it through to the end. But on that token, you know, it's all like it's been alright. I'm not sure. I think I probably preferred A Realm Reborn over Heavensward. But then in A Realm Reborn, I did a lot more of the side questing, and I feel that because that takes longer, you have more of a construct of spending time with the people on the critical path, because you do spend more time with them. And you know, you've just mentioned it's all like Hoshfont's got a complete side quest line, which maybe some of the others do as well. I'm not entirely sure, and that might lead up to sort of like more bonding with the characters, so that when, you know, they get in danger or they get themselves killed, it might have more of an impact. It's one of them where it's like part of me wishes to go back to A Realm Reborn and start it all over again and do every single side quest and try to remember exactly what's going on with all the people all of the time, and then go through Heavensward and do all the side questing there. Because, you know, there's I can't remember what she's called, the leader of the rebels.
Hilda.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, she didn't really play any kind of part in Heavensward, other than to be the token leader of their common folk. And that's it. But I'm guessing some of the side quests and whatnot, maybe you're working for Hilda and with Hilda, but at the same token, it's like some of the side quests are more likely to get you bonded to the common folk, and maybe they do a little bit more at building up Hilda's narrative. But yeah, like you say, one of the things is it's all I'm not sure whether the breaks that we've taken, because I cannot remember how long ago it was that I actually started Heavensward, and how long ago it was that I actually started playing A Realm Reborn. You know, these characters are probably coming up to like 2 years old now?
Something like it.
A Realm Reborn was then playing it safe after the mess that was the original Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, I don't know much about the mess that was Final Fantasy XIV, and you say the story is fairly generic fantasy. I mean, one of the things that I don't feel that Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn is generic fantasy in terms of... Because one of the other things that you've got to understand is I'm not much of a JRPG player. I played a few of the Final Fantasies. I'm not a fan of most of the Final Fantasies. Although I'm slowly becoming more of a fan of JRPG, so it might be one of them where I need to go back and revisit some of the Final Fantasy games and see if I can get more into them, approaching them as a JRPG, because they are a very different genre to Western RPGs. You know, you say that the story is fairly generic fantasy, but they've done a pretty good job of world building, and there's a lot to take in A Realm Reborn. You know, you've got the 3 separate countries, city-states, that you're allied to. Never mind the Garlean Empire. Never mind Alamigo. Never mind the Beast Tribes. There's just so much in the original A Realm Reborn. And I appreciate that some of that might not have actually been in there from the get-go. It might have been, you know, some aspects might have been added in later as they reworked things. I don't know how much they go back and tweak these things. Hilda plays a part in the machinist job line above level 50, so she has a bigger role in the side materials. Yeah, that's the thing. It's I've not... The Scholar? That's what I'm playing, isn't it?
Yeah, you do have you have unlocked the machinist. I think it's level 30 something, but it's not very high at all.
Yeah, I mean the Scholar is the only job that I could actually basically continue the narrative with. There is no job that I've got that I could turn around and go, yeah, rather than playing a Scholar this week, I'm going to play a machinist, black mage, white mage, or anything. I just don't have the levels. Which, I don't know, you know, like I say, it's like because I didn't do much in the way of the narrative outside of the critical path, I just don't... I mean, the entire realm of, what is it? What's that place called?
Where we've just been at Ishgard.
Ishgard, there we go. The entire area of Ishgard, the only thing that I remember of it is snow and Christianity.
You do have the Sea of Clouds, and you do have Zenith, which is the lightningy place where the Mughals live, as well as I want to call it Falcon's Nest, but it's where the dragons and the Nath are. But you don't visit those places very long at all. So yeah, basically most of it is snow. Most of Ishgard is snow.
See, I totally forgot that the cloud place that you've literally just mentioned that I've forgotten the name of existed, and that was part of this one. And the other places kind of ring a bell, but again, not much. You do have an alternate class leveled up in Summoner, since the Summoner it levels alongside Summoner because both come from the Arcanist. Yeah, that's fair, but I also don't know how to play the Summoner. One of the things is I have to learn a class from the ground up. I can't jump into a class when it's already leveled. It's just something that I don't have the mental acrobatics to be able to do. So yeah, I'm aware that I could basically just go, yeah, I'm playing a Summoner this week, but at the same token, it's like I wouldn't have any idea how to play the Summoner, and most of the stream and everything else going on would just be literally me trying to figure out how the hell everything works. And it's not something that I really want to do, because I don't mind playing the Scholar. You know, I enjoy playing a healer, and it's only when it's the forced solo encounter stuff do I actually feel the pain of playing a healer class. You know, and I can only imagine it feels a lot worse for, you know, sort of like the White Mage, who is a pure healer?
Pure healer.
So those solo instances where you've got to kill things on your own, it's nigh on impossible?
For White Mages, no, they are the strongest green DPS, as we like to call them. So they do a lot of damage with their attacks because they get so few of them.
Right. I thought with the logos of everything else shifting up, we were nearly at the end of the credits.
Nearly at the end of the credits.
We might be nearly at the end of the credits, but it seems to be listing every company that they've ever worked with. I do feel that now they sort of like did kind of shit on QA though, where it was like, and the rest of the QA staff. They're naming just about everybody that they worked with in, you know, just about every other company. But they didn't bother to name their own QA staff?
Included 2 people from Logitech. A company called Mouse Computer.
Psycom Company? Tower Hill Company? Unit.com Incorporated. Lenovo. Angelsystems.net.
And all the Final Fantasy XIV players. But we're not done yet.
No, we've got the development supervisors, the technical director, the assistant producer.
Yeah, so Blood for the Blood Lily. Chiron's used to me screaming that back when we used to work in the office.
I'm used to you screaming it even now when I'm playing online. I still don't know what you're on about. The producer and director. Sorry, anybody else?
No, I think Yoshi. No. Oh, produced by Square. I was going to say, I think Yoshi P is the last name in the list. Bob from Toilet Cleaning, Joe from Vending Machine Refill Co., Steve the parking attendant, Jack the homeless dude who camps out the office door, and the rest of the QA team. Gotta get that dig in there again.
Oh. So, that was only like 20 minutes of credits. Right, Alice, what do you have to say?
Did you watch the credits? He may have mentioned, but Alphinaud has appraised me of all that came to pass in Gridania. Your only task now is to rest. This is the calm before the storm. Lise has chosen her path, and as her friends, we must do what we can to support that choice. We are fated to join the conflict in any case. Once the Alliance has taken the wall and opened the way to Girabania, we will have little choice but to fight. Which is not to say the cause is unworthy. After all, ignoring the plight of those whom one might conceivably save is not wisdom but indolence, correct? I, for one, look forward to joining hands with the Alamegans, striking a blow against the tyranny of the Empire, as I rather suspect. Do you?
Give me all the monies. Oh. We fell asleep.
And while we slept, they took back the wall.
Quick march, the Imperials will soon come to their senses and we must be ready to face their retribution. See, why can we get involved in this fight?
We technically did. This was an entire dungeon that we did.
Oh yeah. It is almost time, father. Aye, almost. Stand firm, Pippin. I learned to brace myself against the charge of the Bull of Alamigo. No foe will dislodge me. He's the Bull of Alamigo, I believe.
Hmm?
He's the Bull of Alamigo, I believe?
Yeah. The Black Bull, aka Raubon.
Well, Hilbert, I will take our homeland back. For the both of us.
Done.
He's gone rogue.
Meanwhile, in Garlemald, yay!
They really need a new banner.
Dun 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 dun.
Could I look any more bored?
There he is.
Say here he is. It looks like a man in a tin suit.
There's a man in a tin suit.
My Lord Viceroy, our scouts have confirmed the preliminary reports. Balasar's wall has fallen to the Eurasian Alliance. The hunt for the Mega and the unknown Icon continues, though both yet elude us. My lord, their battle caused considerable damage across the region. Should we perchance divert some of our forces from the search to undertake the necessary reconstruction work? Forgive me, Lord. I did not intend. Your will be done. Was he napping or something?
No, he just didn't say anything. Just stared him down.
Unknown. My spies tell me the Domans call it Shiryu. And that Shinryu. And that it proved a match for Omega. Yes. The coming days promise to be most interesting. Most interesting. Yet I am still bored.
Little smile. Far edge of fate, the road begins anew. The heroes look to eastern skies and behold their crimson hue. A dawn of liberation, a gathering storm of blood. Dun dun dun!
Dun dun dun! Unlocked achievement, 5 minutes of fate. Well, so much for that rest.
The question is, how will the Empire respond to the disappearance of Omega and the Primal? Oh, I didn't see you there. Forgive me. Word from Baelsar's wall is proving long in the coming, and my mind cannot help
Saying, "Oh, I didn't see you there" to a potato is that insulting?
No, it's Alphino. He's very short for his race, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
What the hell is he?
He's an Elizon, so you know, Hoshafon and Emmerich and those really tall elves.
So he is short.
Yeah, well, he's only for they live for like they are essentially elves. They live for forever, and the twins here are really young as it is. They're only 14-ish.
Wait, why are they in charge of anything? Hey, playthru.
Alphino, a message from the Alliance.
Huh.
About time. Pray summon the others at once.
We've forgotten the link shells again.
Yes, sir.
General Uldin reports that his forces have secured the breach in Baelsar's wall.
And what of the Primal and Omega?
There is still no sign of either at this time. He writes that they will begin a more thorough investigation shortly. And, as expected, he wishes to petition the aid of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
As expected.
The Alliance's decision to capture a part of Baelsar's wall is open to interpretation.
The wall serves to demarcate Imperial territory, Alamigo included, from the rest of Eorzea. To an observer, the Alliance's actions could be seen as a prelude to invasion.
Indeed. And the Alliance leaders have no wish to be branded invaders.
You're saying they won't fight for Alamigo? Even after everything that's happened?
Not without the consent of her people, no. Make no mistake, Lise. The Alliance is in complete agreement that the Empire must be purged from Eorzea. However, they will not set foot in Gyr Abania until they have formally secured the consent and cooperation of the Alamigan opposition.
They would have us act as intermediaries.
Precisely. The Scions are uniquely qualified to serve in this capacity. That is to say, Lise's, given her personal connection to the Resistance. Who better than you to broker an agreement between the Alliance and the people of Alamigo? Assuming you are willing, of course.
Gotta think hard on this one, Lise.
No, I'd like nothing more.
As for who should accompany you on said diplomatic mission, I had a mind to volunteer myself.
Well, that covers the talking part. But you just know there'll be trouble along the way. Are you available?
Nah, I'm resting. As if you had to ask.
Thanks. It means a lot knowing you'll be there. I too shall accompany you. Such endeavors are seldom hampered by a surfeit of healers.
Good point. Allow me to offer my services as well.
I have spent quite enough time
You've been replaced, Gyro.
It's hard to keep an eye on things.
Nothing ever came against having a surplus of healers.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's all like I would offer to accompany you, and everybody else is all like chiming in to go along. It's like, well, okay, then I'll just stay here and man the fort with playthru.
I trust you have no objections.
None, my lady. Gladly shall I continue to serve as caretaker of the Waking Sands, and there keep watch for signs of primal and Ascian activity both.
As capable as my learned friend undoubtedly is, there are some troubles that may prove too much for a single scion, on account of which I mean to stay.
It is settled then. Let us each see to our preparations.
So again, Thancred is just sitting this one out.
Well, someone has to make sure that to frisk Orianji down for the knife he seeks to stick in someone's back.
But yes, now, Lord of Irony has so much hype for Endwalker, there's not a day that goes by that I don't hear something.
I'm just trying to play it cool, man. What the hell?
Just being honest.
Yeah. No, every time a new week happens, I'm like, it's 3 weeks till Endwalker. Nah.
Ready, my friend?
No.
4 weeks till Endwalker right now.
3 weeks and 4 days.
Tataru, I leave the rising stones in your capable hands.
Don't worry, Alphino. I'll see that the place is still standing when you come back.
Mistress Y'shtola has unfolded all. You are bound for Girabania?
Aye. The Alliance would have us make contact with the Alamegan resistance as soon as possible.
It begins then. As soon it shall in Doma, if the gods are good. 'Tis but a pity it must be now. I am sorry that we shall not be present to fight beside you in the battles to come.
You have stood with us countless times, Lady Yugiri. Pray do not apologize.
Then let us thank you instead. You and yours stood with us from the first, when we came to this land as refugees in search of sanctuary. Loath am I to think what might have become of my people, had you not extended to us the hand of friendship. We will never forget. This I solemnly swear.
Much has changed since first you set foot on these shores. Revenant's Toll stands as a testament to that. I'm sure your people will manage in your absence.
Indeed. They have built a new home for themselves and no longer need me to shepherd them. The time has come for Kozetsu and I to return to our master, to our home. I know how you feel. It's time I went home too.
Though our battlefields be 1,000 mounds apart, our purpose is one. Let all men hearken to the clarion call of freedom, of liberation, from Eorzea to the far east, that they may rise up and cast down the curse of Garlemald.
Take care, you hear me? When all of this is over, we're going to celebrate, together. Just you wait. I should like that very much.
A 1,000 miles apart, yet united in purpose. Let us both pray our endeavours meet with success. Shall we then?
Maybe not just yet. I knew I'd forgotten something important. Lise, could you come with me? Me? What now? Alright then, if you insist.
You're about to get ambushed.
You won't get ambushed. What do you think? As you can see, I designed it to be light and loose. An outfit tailor-made to the needs of a skilled fighter like Lise.
Your work never ceases to impress. Much more of this, and I may have to stop introducing you as the Scion's receptionist and start referring to you as our preeminent seamstress.
It's lovely, Tataru. Thank you. I feel like I could take on a legion. I'm glad you like it, and with that, I'll delay you no longer. Safe travels.
Onward, then, to Albani, and our first stop will be the Amarixias Spire in the East Shroud. Everybody walks for the door, but is going to use the ether portals to get there as soon as possible.
So a slight worry is the fact that we're accompanying Lise to the Resistance as an impartial party. To ask if they're okay with us essentially invading to stop the Gallians.
Yes.
But the person we've sent to be the impartial requester has a very vested personal interest in making sure this all happens.
I mean, yes.
Not begrudging her vested personal interest. She, she's entitled to it. She's not my choice if you were going to send someone impartial to the whole thing.
Oh, greetings, Penan and Raiders. How goes it?
We have been raided. Ah.
Could somebody drop into the chat an SO for Penan? If anybody knows how to do that. If not, I'll have to come out of the game and do it.
Yeah, I have no idea what you just said, so I don't know.
Put in an apostrophe, not an apostrophe, an exclamation mark, SO. And then a space, and then type in Penan's name. It should tell me a little bit about what. There we go. They were playing some no game. Interesting. It's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to tell me what you were doing before you raided. Cross-stitching, fair enough. It should then say that it was under arts and crafts. Yes, Saber, cheese it. But yeah, just playing some 14. Just entered the second expansion, Stormblood.
What?
Yay! I can remember it now. So yeah, literally just at the start of Stormblood. So spoilers beware. If anybody's playing this and is in an earlier point, feel free to drop out. But welcome everybody. All are present and accounted for. When you are ready, my friend, pray inform the officer that we wish to proceed to Gir Abania. Garabania.
Yeah, he has no idea. He has no idea.
I have absolutely no idea. I'm very much thought I don't pay attention to. I barely pay attention to what's going on in front of me until it happens. The Science of the Seventh Dawn. We were told to expect you. Shall I summon someone to escort you to the wall? I mean, it's just over there and we can fly. Good, I like torture. Why am I being tortured?
No, not necessarily you're not being necessarily tortured. It's like As in, you know, you're not in for a bad time with a bad story, you're just, you're in for a ride.
I remember crossing the border, standing in Girabania once more. Me and my fellow scions, the warrior of light amongst. Behind us, Baelsar's wall cutting the land in two. Freedom on one side, tyranny on the other. Tyranny, and the promise of a new beginning. But one that could only be bought with flames and blood.
Stormblood. I ran out of coffee a while ago.
You can stop, pause a minute to go get a coffee.
Nah, it's fine. I'll see it through to the end of the stream. It's one of them. If I take a pause now, then it'll be so I get delayed coming back and end up, you know, with 5 minutes left to stream at the end of it. Touch the aetheryte! I've not done this in a while. Press my face.
That's what you're excited about? Touching a new aetheryte?
Look, I enjoy little things, and it's one of the things that I know how to do in this game, and I do it well. You run up to the new aetherites, and you press your face against them.
First thing you do in a new expansion pack, always lick the aetherite. And stand on the table when talking to important NPCs.
I mean, we're potatoes. We get to stand wherever we like. Greetings, Scions. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, I welcome you to Castrum Oriens. Thank you, General. We were relieved to hear that your forces secured the wall without incident. Have the Imperials made any attempt to retake the Castellarium since then? None, save for a few skirmishes between our scouts and their patrols. We've barely had any contact with them. But we all know it's only a matter of time before things escalate. As if attacking Baelsar's wall weren't enough, Ilberd summoned a primal right on their doorstep, and Garlemald will not like to let such a show of defiance go unanswered. 'Twas a declaration of war, even if it was not Ilberd's to make, and now we are bound to it, for weal or for woe. Besides, stand ready to serve, General. What would you ask of us? As stated in my message, the Alliance will not proceed without the support and cooperation of the Almegan people. We would have you serve as our embassies and make contact with the Resistance.
Consider it done, General. We won't let you down, I swear.
Then I'll leave it to you. Godspeed.
And Sid is here, because of course he is.
Huh. Off all the Castra in all of the world, you walk into mine? Master Garland, what brings you here? A certain missing Algon weapon and Draconic Primal, Omega and Shinryu. Did I get it right that time? I think the Shinobi called it. Anyway, we've been studying their trail of destruction, hoping it might lead us somewhere, which is singularly failed to do so. Then 'tis like Omega fell to the earth in occupied territory, meaning it may already be in Imperial hands. Even so, it bears repeating that we engaged the stasis systems. Assuming the command was received and executed successfully, the weapon will be of no use to them. Assuming. We should hurry up and find it regardless. All the more reason to reach out to the resistance. If we want to press into Gir Abani, we need their blessing.
Everyone's counting on us. Let's not waste any more time talking. Even though we're going over to the resistance to talk to him. New quest complete music.
Yeah, get paid for talking. Ah.
As you probably heard, there are plenty of factions in the Resistance, so I'm taking us to see the one with the most influence. Their headquarters are located in a place called Rhaegal's Reach, an old temple to the east of here, across the Veladina River. There we go. I learned a route that should allow us to avoid Imperial patrols. Stick with me, and we'll be there before you know it.
New quest accepted. Music. Wait, we can't fly?
No, we're in a new area.
Oh. My bird won't take off. Suppose I should talk to the chocobo person. Just in case.
Hey.
Hey. Seems weird being on such a mount and then not flying. Things are attacking us.
Yeah, we're not 10 levels higher than the the mobs here anymore. It went away though. Still with me? Good. From here, we'll head northeast towards the river. The water's not too deep, so we won't have to swim.
You made us get off our mounts for that?
Hey, you're in the car.
Yep. If we weren't under attack, I'd park it up and you could jump in, but there's things following us, so I'm just driving.
Ryu was here. You'll see wrecks of Magitech stuff around, and that's what they were referring to when.
Oh, we see traces of destruction.
Mm-hmm. Don't see any soldiers. Good, let's cross. You're wondering about the tower in the south?
No.
Well, you are now.
Oh.
Out of Castellium Veladina. That's what the Imperials decided to call the old bridge after they fortified it. I call it a great big eyesore. Honestly, you can see the rotten banner from absolutely miles away. They never miss a chance to rub our noses in it, do they? Come on, we shall keep moving.
Love the way it's like, we'll just walk and it's like, I'm pretty sure we'll just drown.
No, we definitely had to wade. It was definitely up to our shoulders there.
Here, have some XP for finding a new location. So we've entered the desert expansion.
Suppose we should have been looking for ether currents, but hey ho.
Yeah, we'll get them eventually, probably. Maybe. The ether currents allow us to fly in areas as well as doing some quests. Well, that's generally how it was.
We passed it. I think it's up there. Here it is.
That's it.
If you look at the mountains to your left, you can see traces of Amiga's passage.
Which left?
I imagine it's our right now, where the burning Magitech thing is.
Fair enough. Rush it down. Ow.
Our chocobos didn't need those knees, it's okay.
The chocobos are fine, we're the ones who took the damage.
Oh, look up apparently.
I mean, don't forget we're on a...
I guess up there?
sizable delay, potentially.
I guess those mountains up there.
There's a huge gouged out the entire mountain peak. Rock following me. Allies, save me! I don't know.
I think between the pair of us, we're just blind. Back towards the river, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, I think I saw that one.
But here, on the other side of this pass is Rhaegal's Reach.
So you say, but all I see are rocks. I presume there's some sort of trick to this?
Indeed. A glamour.
Good eye.
Good eye, Sheila.
I take it they have a talented mage in their ranks, or mayhaps an artificer trained in the modification of glamoured prisms?
Something like that. The important thing is that it fools the Garleans. Oh, before we go in, I don't know if Tataru told you, but my friend Nargo, the messenger who came to the Rising Stones, is a member of this faction. So they know us, and they shouldn't attack us on sight. That said, they can be a bit jumpy, so let me lead the way, and don't go reaching for your weapons or anything. Careful. Careful, Rulanda. Don't want to give him a paper cut.
Hmm.
And with a sprinkle of Damascene dust, all is laid bare. That's a terrible idea. I feel like we should have just walked through the glamour.
Yeah. Now everybody who comes this way will be able to see.
We'll just assume they recast it.
Mm. So this is a game, you walk for 5 minutes and then listen to a 6-day cutscene, rinse and repeat, and then everybody nods.
a breakthrough
I mean, if you follow the main story quest line,
and cleft the earth
generally.
with a single blow. Rhalga's Reach, a holy place, and a fitting home for the resistance, for the brave and the true, the loyal sons and daughters of Alamigo.
Oh yeah, I read that.
They were waiting for us there, men and women whose souls still cried out for what was lost, for what could be ours again.
Alpha note now, attack!
Paper cut, paper cut, paper cut.
Fear the paper cut. Ah, comrade. You'll forgive us our precautions, but we couldn't be sure you who had crossed the barrier. We see you now for who you are, though. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Here, let me give you some pocket change. Now, I know you would not have come all this way unless you had something important to discuss, and I'm eager to hear what you have to say. But let's not do this on our doorstep, eh? Come with me.
We're gonna detour a little bit.
Aetherite?
Aetherite!
I'm gonna lick it first.
Never!
Somebody else has the flying
Cruise chaser.
mount. The what?
Yeah, it's called Cruise Chaser.
Ah.
We'll do the Alexander raids one day. They were in Heavensward, and you'll see it.
Fair enough. So is this the city of Stormsblood?
Kind of. This is one of the main hubs, yeah.
Hey, Krifu. How goes it?
Hey! Ooh! Stand on the table, stand with the lallas. Comments.
Allow me to welcome you once more to Rhalga's Reach, our humble headquarters. My name is Conrad Kemp, and I have the dubious honor of overseeing operations here.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Master Kemp. I am Alphino Leveilleur, of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, as are my comrades. Before I speak of our purpose here, pray allow me to thank you for sheltering Ida, forgive me, Lys, and Papalimo at great risk to yourselves.
No, there's no need for that. They risked their necks for us enough times. It was the least we could do.
I wanted to, I mean, about the mask and...
Ah, don't fret over that. You're not the first person to take up arms against the Empire under a false name. We'd do the same if we had any sense. My condolences for your loss, John.
Papalimo laid down his life to save us, to give us a chance to make a better future for ourselves. There will never be a better time to drive the Garleans from our lands. But we have to take the lead on this. We can't leave it to fanatics like Ilberd.
More than a few of our people were taken in by his promises. Followed him all the way to the wall. Good men and women who never came back. When Monago told us what had happened, how the bastard had made sacrifices of them for his twisted ritual, by Rhaegal, it filled me with an unholy fury. But what's done is done. Best we can do now is see that it wasn't all in vain.
That is why we are here today, sir. To see that some good comes of this tragedy. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, we do hereby extend a formal offer of military assistance to the Alamegan resistance.
Do you now? Well, go on then. I'm sure there's more to it than that. So that's the way of it, eh? The Alliance, hoping to avoid a direct confrontation with the superior forces of the Empire, wishes to engage them by proxy with our vastly inferior ones. My comrades and I must confer on your proposal. A moment, if you please.
Of course, Master Kemp. Take all the time you require.
Some more pocket change?
Just like the idea that they just occasionally just throw money at you.
I love the way that everybody seems to have this map of Eorzea, which is completely useless. It is not detailed enough to formulate any kind of battle plan.
It's in case you ever forgot where Garlemald was.
Right, half an hour. What do you want? Ooh, we're actually going to get things out of this one. Nothing that I can actually use, but things. Where are these people who've thrown money at you, and how do I meet them? You,
I wish we knew.
You need to go adventuring, Magcat. You need to pick up a sword and go adventuring. Disclaimer, I am full of terrible advice. Don't pick up a sword and go adventuring. So it would seem that we find ourselves with the suffit of 3 time. Forgive me. You are free to look around Rhaegal's reach. In fact, I would encourage you to do so. It will give you an even better grasp of our current circumstances. Thank you, Master Kemp. I believe we will do just that. Well, this is making the most of this opportunity to assess the resistance capabilities.
Free to poke our noses wherever we will, eh? I like the sound of that. Well, I already know this place inside out. I can show you around if you like. Right, let's get started.
People are talking. Well, he can often blah blah blah. Is adventuring a viable profession in the UK? When the police stop you, just tell them who sent you. Last time I tried adventuring with the sword, it didn't end well. Questions were asked. It isn't a valid career over here. Shame if only it was. I told you it was a bad idea, but no, you said it'd be fine. Just say it's for a YouTube video and they'll let you off with anything. Social experiment.
It is kind of true, but yeah, I think you need to prove you've got like a massive following in order to get away with stuff like that.
It's called lying. You should look it up sometime.
My potato never lies. I'll bet you think the resistance is mostly made up of Alamegan Highlanders like me, but the truth be told is we don't even account for half. We've got Hell's Guard, from all the way over in the spine, and plenty of Seekers of the Sun like Nargo. There's even some beastmen, well, beast women, I suppose. Like that one over there, she's an Ananta. They've been with us for a while now. Well, one of the smaller factions has, the rest won't have anything to do with us. We're no different from the Garleans to them. They keep to themselves, spending all their time crafting, Ananta make the most amazing jewellery, by the way. They use magics to twist the metal and crystals into shapes you wouldn't believe. It's a pity people hardly ever get to see their work, but then most don't even know they exist. That's enough about them anyway. Let's take a closer look at the Statue of Rhaegal, shall we?
I'm guessing it's that snake woman over there that they were referring to.
Here's the snake woman over here that they were referring to.
Fair enough.
Snake lady.
Terribly unbalanced. Doesn't look much of a statue of anybody.
Keep looking up.
Oh, I've already entered the... Oh, there we go. There we go. I was looking at this little rock here.
That's his symbol. But, yeah. Pretty awe-inspiring, isn't it? The breaker of worlds who guided our ancestors to these lands all those centuries ago. Ida used to tell me the story on a stormy night. She wanted me to understand. To remember. At the end of the 5th astral era, when the waters rose higher and higher, people all across Eorzea beseeched the heavens for a sign, and lo, a burning star appeared in the eastern sky, and led the way to these mountains of Girabania. Those who were saved by his grace pledged to honour and revere him, to devote themselves to great works without and within. A storm of blood approaches fast, hells open, heavens weep, for no one's soul doth lie beyond the measure of his reach. The last part was inscribed on this stone by a monk of the Fist of Rhaegal. Ida explained it to me. A day will come bringing strife and sorrow that none may escape. Waste not these precious hours, but in quiet preparation make strong the body and mind. I don't know if that storm of blood is finally upon us, but if it is, I have to believe that everything we've been through, everything that has led us to this point, will see us through to the end. Sorry, that was a bit melodramatic, wasn't it? Let's keep moving, shall we? Off to the infirmary. To see injured and dead people.
I mean, my camera won't even tilt. Oh, they're falling in the water.
Oh.
I
lost my potato. Oh, swim to the shoreline. He's okay.
Ta-da! Oh, I swam the wrong way, apparently.
You know how injured people love to be gawked at. They do, and you know, after that melodramatic speech that Lise gave about, you know, floods and stuff, seeing wounded people is just, I don't know, trying to lighten the mood? Is that what she's trying to do? Yes, we have attuned to all of them.
Now the Fringes Gate is accessible to us.
More snake ladies.
Oh, the one with the bow.
Mm. Space Toller in the background. This is the infirmary. Infirmary. As you can probably tell, it is where the resistance healers patch up the wounded and tend to the sick. No matter how carefully we planned our operations, casualties were inevitable. It's a sad thing to think about, but it's also important to remember the cost, as Conrad would say. We should go. I'll show you the Aetheryte Plaza next. We've been there.
We've seen it.
No, it's the best thing to be licked.
We examined the patients and offered what assistance we could. However, for many of their injuries, time and bed rest are the only effective treatments.
You too are come to inspect the facilities. As you can see, they have done well to set aside this much space, but the supplies are insufficient.
Wow, rude.
Do 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 do. There's a little mini jump quest in here too. Well, I say jump quest, it's not an actual quest, but it's a jump puzzle.
I suck at jump things. Are you lagging?
Me? No. You looked like you were behind me on my screen, so I just waited.
Fair enough.
When you've seen one Aetheryte, you've seen them all, right? Not quite. This one's an older design dating back decades, when the first of Rhaegal was still here. It may look a little different, but it works just as well as any other. I'll show you where the sutlers are next. But don't forget to attune to the Aetheryte before we go.
I mean, it just kind of looks like an Aetheryte crystal. I didn't know they had different designs.
Yeah.
It's a blue glowy crystal that you run up and lick when you arrive anywhere new. Surprised the Chocobo keeps still having an occupation.
I have no idea. In case you're really lazy and just want to spend the gil on automatically being driven somewhere. Arms, armor, potions, you name it, these folks have got it. The Resistance would be in a bad way without the brave merchants to keep it provisioned. If you're short on anything, or if you need something repaired, these are the people to speak to. Oh, Alphino and Alice are here. Why don't we see how they're getting on? To take measure of our friendly neighbourhood merchants. They're a bold lot, that much is plain. If the Imperials found out they were peddling their wares to the Resistance, they'd be lucky to escape with their lives.
'Tis a gamble high, and I admire their courage, but their motives could hardly be said to be altruistic.
Here you are. I've been looking all over for you. We've finished discussing your proposal, and we're ready to receive you all back at tent. I've sent someone to fetch Stola and Krile, so if you'd like to follow me. Hey, they whopped us to the tent. Whoop.
Greetings, comrade.
Thank you all for waiting. We have reached a consensus. I, Conrad Kemp, do hereby accept the Eorzean Alliance's proposal. You must understand, however, that our cooperation comes with certain caveats.
Those caveats being...
I take no joy in this, just so you know. Were it within my power, I'd offer you more assistance. But the Resistance is far more fragmented than you realize. The men and women in my care belong to but one of many factions. Simply put, I can only speak for the people of Rhaegal's Reach. intention of appealing to the others, and I expect many will agree. But it will take time, and I cannot guarantee universal support.
Understood. I shall see that the Alliance is under no misapprehensions as to your position.
Much obliged. But that's not the whole of it. As you can imagine, the loss of those who cast their lot with the Griffin left us short on numbers. Some of our most trusted veterans died at the wall. We've had to fill their posts with the young and inexperienced. Frankly, everything's in a right bloody mess.
Oh, we'd be more than happy to help you get back on your feet. If we're going to work together, we'll be doing ourselves a favor.
Well, there's no shortage of work to be done, that's for sure. We're in dire need of new blood, too.
Ishtola and I could lend a hand in the infirmary. From what I saw, they could do with a few more healers.
Very well. I, for my part, shall return to the Rising Stones. I'm certain there are others among the Scions who would welcome the opportunity to fight for Alamegan liberation.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we got a number who will just want to fight, but okay. For the liberation.
Is there anything else we can do?
For the liberation.
I had something else in mind for you, Lud. Monago and Methrid will tell you more.
Oh god, with the blood sacrifice.
Understood.
Yeah, the blood. Well, sacrificing a potato to the blood gods ensures ample mount drops.
With the new blood he spoke of.
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Right then, Monago and Methrid are to be our keepers. Knowing naught of what they require, one task is as good as the other. Make your choice.
Bum. Your Aether components may now be used to locate Aether currents in the new regions. In case you misplace your compass, you can obtain a new one. Ooh, the quest line has diverted. And there's two choices. But that shall be a choice for next time.
And done.
Dun dun da. Don't forget jazz hands.
How people vote on it? Who should we go with?
I mean, I can do that. The thing is, we'd have to take the vote now so that we can start up next week while people arrive. So,
This is true.
Methrid and how do we pronounce that?
Monago.
Monago. Methrid or Monago, people. Make your choices be known.
That girl or buff guy?
And while that's happening, oh god, come on! I'm trying to get back to. There we go. Okay. You say choice, but you have to do both. Yeah, I kind of figured would have to do both, but yes. Shh. This has been another 3 hours of Final Fantasy XIV. There we go. I can remember what I've been doing. Wait, Catgirl was a choice and you're asking? I don't think there was a Catgirl. Was there a Catgirl?
Yeah, Monago's a cat girl.
Oh, Monago's a Catgirl. Okay.
Your observation skills need work, my friend.
My observation skills have always need work. So yeah, I've been Karen Russmore and been accompanied with the Lord of Irony, Crit Commissions. I will be back on Thursday playing some more XCOM 2, seeing how that goes. And then on Friday for some new horror game, Prey, which is a terrible idea, but I want to give it a try. So that's what we're doing. the clue was in the end. I don't pay attention to naming rules. And yeah, after Friday, you can usually find me on Manapot Studios on the Mondays, and then back here next Tuesday for more Final Fantasy 14. I think that just about wraps it up. Create commissions?
I do artsy things across social media platforms with the same name when my shoulder's not playing up.
Yes. Shame about that. How are you feeling now?
Yeah, I know. Better, we're getting there. I still can't draw with it, but
Yeah. So yeah, let's see if there's anybody streaming that I care to raid. I don't actually have Twitch open. There is nobody that I currently desire to raid, so we're just gonna call it here. And I shall see you all next time. On Thursday about 8 o'clock. Let's say. Alright. See you all next time. Daddy bye.
Bye.